When you're designing a network, there are numerous WAN technology options, and there are new technologies emerging, but each WAN technology needs to meet a certain level of expectations. For example, can this WAN technology meet throughput and performance requirements? Is it mature enough to actually offer a reliable and stable connection? Is the WAN option locally available across all required locations? And finally, is the cost actually reasonable for this technology?
Let's take a look at the MG in the dashboard. So the MG shows up in dashboard just like any other Meraki product. It does have its own tab on the left-hand side of the page. And if we hover over cellular gateway, you'll see we have a couple different options. Cellular gateways and then settings. Let's start with cellular gateways. So just like any other product, this is going to take you to your list of devices in that network. So you can see that I only have one MG in this network, but if I did have multiple, they would all show up in this list. I could see at a glance the connectivity status of the device. I could see that it's green, it's online. I could see historically how this device has been performing. I can see that it was offline for a period of time, but it looks like now it's been online for the last couple hours, so that's good. And if you want to browse by other things, like for example, eCMNA, I could add that to this list and then sort by that if I wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and click on this MG21E. And when I do that, it takes me to my status page for this device. Now I'm looking at information specific to this MG21E. So I can see the name of the device, the model number, MAC address. I can see the address of the device because I did place it on the map. Public IP, signal strength. Again, there's that eCMNA, my serial number, firmware version of the device. If I scroll back up, I can see the ports on the device and whether or not they're connected. Looks like I have one connected right now. And then if I click on the uplink tab, it's going to give me some details about the uplink for this device. And in this case, the uplink is cellular. So I'm going to get some pretty good uplink stats and cellular signal strength stats here too. So if I scroll down, you'll see that I've got some IP information, I've got signal strength. If I click more, it's going to give me the current values for the RSRP and the RSRQ. And then if I continue to scroll down, I can see the current live data for uplink traffic. So how much traffic is in use across that link right now. And then if I continue scrolling down, here is my cellular historical data in regards to signal quality. So I can change this time span to the last 2 hours if we can get a bit more granular here. And now we can look over time and kind of get a clearer idea of how the quality has been. If you're trying to troubleshoot this over time, it's nice to be able to look back and see, okay, signal was fine at this time, or maybe it wasn't at a given time. And then at the bottom of the page, we also have latency and packet loss as well that you can look at historically. And then the other tab that we had on here was settings. So if I click on settings, it's going to take me to the things that I can configure for this device specifically. So this device is a NATing device. So it is going to translate local traffic to the public IP address that it has on its uplink. And you can configure that subnet that it's using to do that. If I continue scrolling down, you'll see that I can configure the settings for my DHCP scope. So if I want to change the DNS server, I can do that. If I want to reserve a specific IP range or even assign a fixed IP to a device, I can do that here. And then because it is a NATing device, you do have the ability to configure port forwarding rules. And then last but not least, traffic shaping. So if you want to ensure that your customer cannot exceed a certain a bit rate for their uplink, for their cell plan, then you can set that here. So if I don't want that MG to use more than 10 megabits per second, I can drop that down to 10. I can even get more granular here and type in exactly what I want in megabits per second. And that's all there is to it.